got NXT Heatwave this weekend, a show that I'm genuinely really looking forward to. I think that we'll be doing that show this weekend. We'll be doing the live stream for it, and I think it promises to actually be quite a fun show. Like, genuinely, I'm looking forward to the card. Obviously, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff tonight that's going to put the finishing touches in place, but I really think the card looks pretty good, actually, all things considered, considering that NXT lost an awful lot of talent in the draft. You know, we lost Kiana, we lost Lyra, we had Elia get called up, Bron Breakker got called up, Baron Corbin got called up. Like, there's quite a few stars that ended up getting called up. And so it has left us a little bit thin. And also, we've got to obviously build some new stars as a result. So I think all things considered, the card this weekend looks pretty good. So tonight will be about putting those finishing touches in place, shall we say. So tonight I've got the official preview, I've got the official breakdown, so let's have a little look at that, shall we? So we've got the NXT Championship contract sign-in, so that's obviously going to be between all four guys, Trick, Javon, Sean Spears and Ethan Page. As well as that, we got Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez face to face. I really am into that match. I think they've built up Lola Vice so well in recent weeks that seeing her taking on Roxanne should be a really interesting encounter. You know, Roxanne is someone that's an excellent wrestler, but how is she going to compete against someone that's got that kind of fantastic striking ability, someone that's got that martial arts background, someone that's got that dog in them? You know, you're probably not going to out wrestle Roxanne, but can you out brawl Roxanne? I think you can. And I think that it makes for a very interesting matchup, to different styles there. That's something that I would like to see them sort of dig into a little bit. Like Roxanne against Lola, these two different styles. Who's going to emerge on top? So, should be good face-to-face tonight there. New Catch Republic against Hank and Tank. It's not doing it for me personally. I don't think that the New Catch Republic has really caught on the way that they were hoping that it was going to catch on. I like both guys. We were pleading for Butch to be changed into Pete Dunne, but it's not worth doing if you're not going to do anything with him, you know? Put him with Tyler Bate and they're just sort of bobbing around, really. And now they're taking on Hank and Tank, so I don't know. I just don't know what we're doing there. I really don't know. That's one that's got me scratching my head a little bit. Michin takes on Jaida Parker in a street fight. That should be fun tonight. Very much looking forward to that. So Michin against Jaida Parker. We got Tyson and Tyriek against Gallus. Tyson and Tyriek are new. And I like them. I saw them at the NXT house show and I was very impressed with them. I think Gallus have been good since they came back as well. I know that they're not the most captivating of groups, but I do think they have leveled up since they returned. So I don't mind a bit of Gallus. Don't mind a little bit of Tyson and Tyriek. They go up against each other tonight. As well as that, we've also got Brinley Reece taking on Izzi Dame. Brinley Reece is someone that I think has got potential. Izzi Dame has definitely got potential. Both of these going up against each other. I would imagine Izzi Dame to emerge victorious. But can it be an interesting encounter? That's what we're looking for. So, yeah, you know, look, these are the stars of tomorrow. These are the people that are going to take the company forward, or at least some of them. So it'll be interesting to see how today plays out. Let's jump into the chat. I want to say hello to people. That is the breakdown for tonight's NXT. See where the conversation is going to be. But can't wait for Daze to ignore my direct comments, said Corey, but read my random comments in other conversations. Well, Corey, there you go. You are welcome. The Beach Kevin said Michin needs some wins. Stop having her do the job for every new talent. It's the only time Daze reads our comments when we talk shiz or mid-conversation. Oh, hello. We've got a bit of drama kicking off in the chat. Paul said, evening days, hope you are well. Great weekend of wrestling ahead. Yeah, it should be good, man. Should be good. I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I think Money in the Bank, we just did a predictions thing for that over on the Wrestling Escape Pods. We kind of broke that all down, and we didn't go into crazy detail, but I'm all right with that because we've still got to do our predictions over on the other channel. We'll do that tomorrow. So yeah, Money in the Bank I think is going to be a lot of fun. There's a few people that could emerge as winners in that match, the men's match, the women's one as well, but I feel pretty good about Tiffany. Don't know how people are feeling on that, but I'm feeling pretty good on Tiffany. I would love for it to be Sammy, but he's not in the match at the moment. I'm thinking that there's a few winners that could emerge in that men's Money in the Bank, right? And so this weekend looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And then on the Sunday, NXT Heatwave. And as we said, genuinely looking forward to that. I think the matchups, I think the card looks really, really good. So yeah, I'm excited this weekend. It's always good when we've got a full weekend of wrestling for us to get our teeth into. And of course, you know, the Wyatt Six, they're going to loom over Saturday. We don't know what they'll be up to. I don't expect them on Friday. Obviously, we expect them next Monday, but I think there's a good chance that we do see them on Saturday. Jonathan said, Daze, hope you're doing well. Do we think that Sammy is going to lose the title at Money in the Bank? I do. Yeah, I do. I do think that we'll see him lose his title. I really hope he loses and then finds a way of getting in the Money in the Bank. I really would love for it to be a case that the Wyatt Six take out Chad. That then frees up a vacancy, a spot, and then we can see Sammy potentially going in. I mean, I keep thinking back to the fact we're in Toronto, and I know it shouldn't matter because we were in Scotland and we didn't give Drew the title. So just because we're in Toronto, in Canada, it doesn't mean that we should be giving anything to Sammy or to the Canadians, right? That's just not how WWE works. But I'm hopeful that we're going to do something nice for Canada, and Sammy being in that and winning that Money in the Bank. I mean, what more has the guy got to do? I know people want Jay. I understand that. I do understand that. He's a big star. They've really got him popping, and that entrance is huge, and you know, he's super, super over. It definitely feels like he's the favorite. But oh my god, I've wanted Sammy to win a world title for so long. That I would love for it to be him, but yeah, either way, Bron feels like the rightful guy, doesn't he, to actually go and get that Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, I'm thinking that he does. I'm leaning towards he does. Jeremy said, I'm trying to watch soccer, but every 5 minutes someone falls on the ground and they flap around. Then they bring a board out, they put him on it. Then he's fine on the sidelines, says Jeremy. Kian said, Daze, hope you are well, having a good stream. I enjoyed the Wyatt Six video. Oh, that's good. I believe that Roman and Jimmy will be back as faces. Do you think Roman will bring Zilla with him? I don't think he'll bring Zilla with him, no. I think that Zilla is... I mean, I don't really understand where this conversation's come from. I don't really understand why everyone's fascinated by Zilla Fatu all of a sudden. Like, has he teased something, or has someone said something? There's a lot of mention of Zilla, and I don't really know why. I feel like Roman, Usos, and you've got to get Sammy. You've got to get Sammy. That would be 4, and then that would take us against Solo, Jacob, and the Gorillas of Destiny. That would be 4 on 4. That for me is perfect. I'm really not a fan of just bringing in more and more people. I've said before, I feel like the success of the Bloodline was because we spent so much time digging into like the members, and we digged into all these different people, and we got to know about them. We got to know what they liked, what they didn't like. I don't know anything about Tamatonga. I don't know anything about Tongaloa. I don't know anything about Jacob Fatu. We just have not had really any segments with them, apart from hearing about how vicious they are. So I just don't have any desire to bring in another person that I don't know anything about. And I'm struggling to see where they fit in and where we need them at the moment. Like, you know, I'm much more into the idea of it being Roman, Sammy, and the Usos taking on Solo. So Roman, Sammy, and the Usos taking on Solo, Jacob, and the Gorillas of Destiny. That works for me. So, you know, if you bring in Zilla, if you then got to bring in someone else, and we're just going to keep adding people for the sake of adding people, you know? So, Zilla, I'm sure, could find his way to WWE eventually, but I can't say I'm looking to bring him in personally. I think we've done enough. I think we've got enough new people in. I think we need to actually spend time now actually bedding these people in rather than just keep adding. So, not the direction I would personally go, but have to see. Have to see if WWE bring him in and how it all plays out. You know, perhaps Sammy won't be involved, and perhaps they'll bring Zilla in to partner with Roman. But I would need that explaining. Why has Zilla chosen to be with Roman, and you know Jacob's over on the other side? And I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of work needed there, to be honest. Loopy Girl said, love to the Wrestling Daze family. Loopy Girl, shout out to you. Leapin Lucha Larry said, I kind of think Chad will win at Money in the Bank. Could do. I think there's probably a good chance that he will be denied by the Wyatt Six. Definitely feels like Chad Wyatt Six in some incarnation is going to be happening, you know, at SummerSlam. Dub X said, Wyatt Six chasing Chad out the ring. Corey said, hope your day is going well, Days. James said, Trini, have you heard the Eminem song To Be dropped today? It's his last album. It drops in 2 weeks. To Be. I've not heard that. I heard his last one, which got to #1, didn't it? Which is pretty crazy. Houdini, was it, or something? I heard that. I can't say that it blew my mind, but yeah, you know, it was all right. I don't think it's as good as it was back in the day, but then that's a high bar in it, really. But I haven't heard this new one. Perhaps this new one's good. Hikuleo is signed and will join with his brothers. Hikuleo is signed, so he will be here soon, said Jeremy. Paul said, can Cody join the Usos and Reigns instead of Sammy? Well, I wouldn't go that way, only because I think Cody... I mean, he is involved in a whole bloodline thing, and I'm sure you could do Cody and Roman, but I mean, Cody doesn't need to be in a faction. I feel like this faction war is going to be a long-running war, right? I feel like this is going to run for quite a while, so I wouldn't really get too stuck into having Cody. Cody can come in and do a match or something. But, you know, he's champion. He's got to go off and defend that belt against other people. So I wouldn't get him, like, in this group, if you know what I mean. He could be an honorary use. We could definitely do that with him. We could definitely make him an honorary use. Tama just around chattering his teeth, said Dub X. Big Time said the storylines on Raw are really resonating. Raw did 1.87 last 2 weeks, 1.8 and 1.7. Things come in off 8 straight weeks, heavy shows. Simulation said, I've got a fun question for you. If you had made a new wrestling business using your mods as superstars, who would be your biggest face and heel? No. I think that's a bit too inside baseball. There's going to be a lot of people that that are maybe new to the channel and are getting stuck into a conversation that's quite community focused. I'm not sure this is the right time for that. Nathan said Corey Graves did a great job masking the Wyatt Six, making them look credible. I agree. Would you trust them to be your delivery people? I would not trust them to be my delivery people. I think we spoke about that. I thought Corey Graves did a fantastic job. Corey Graves deserves a lot of praise. I think that he is one of the only people I've seen that has really, really sold the threat of that group. And that group lives and dies on those reactions. You can say that it doesn't matter and, you know, don't care about the details and all this kind of stuff, but the details matter. Like, we can't, on the one hand, say that the details matter when we're going through the QR codes and we're looking into when the QR code drops. Is there any clue? Does it connect? Maybe they're dropping it at a certain point and we're looking, I mean, we're getting out our binoculars in the background. We're looking at all these little things. of course the details matter. Of course the details matter. They matter during Nightbirds. They matter during the arrival of the group. The details, of course, matter. So they matter now, right? And the fact that people aren't like selling the story properly is probably the biggest frustration I've got with the story at the moment. It's got nothing to do with the group. It's got everything to do with people not selling it correctly and not giving it like the respect it deserves. I don't think they're being disrespectful on purpose. I just think they don't know how to do it. I just think that, like, I don't know if Triple H has got everyone together and basically told and given everyone the same message. Some people are selling it like Corey Graves, absolutely horrified. Some people are just not that phased. You know, like, we're getting Raw talks where people are just being a bit nonchalant afterwards, you know? And I don't know if you've seen the footage doing the rounds, but like Jay was just sort of like, have they gone afterwards? So when we went to commercial break, Jay appeared and he was like, oh, have they gone? And, you know, off we went. Like, it was okay. It was during a commercial break. I'm not bothered by it, but I've seen, again, more criticism of like Jade being a bit too casual with it. You know, when he could come out and be like, guys, I've got to go. I don't want anything to do with this. But instead, he kind of goofs around with it a little bit. So I feel like these are the little details that are going to add up eventually and are really going to be a barrier for certain people. So when you see someone doing it like how you would really like it to be sold, and that is Corey Graves, I think he deserves absolutely all his flowers, because so many people just seem to be getting this wrong, in my opinion. But Corey actually, like, looking scared for his life, and that's what we want. We want more of that. We want more superstars being scared for their lives that way. You know, because it'll put over how much of a threat this group are and how they have made a statement and how the locker room is concerned. So I'd be looking for more of that personally. But yeah, I completely agree. Corey has set the template. I just hope others can follow. Paul said, do we think that NXT WWE would have done more with TNA by now? Not really, to be honest. I think that what we've done is fine. I mean, we may be building to a crossover, but I don't know that we're building to a crossover, but we may be building to a crossover. But to be honest, if I'm WWE, I'm going into waters that I'm not too confident walking in. You know, I'm walking into a partnership with a company that I don't know quite where my fan base is. So, for example, I know only people watch my show, but how many people that watch me also watch them, right? How many people are going to actually see these stars and care, right? All of that, we're having to kind of tiptoe our way through that, right? I mean, if you look at AEW's ratings recently, I'm going to use them as an example. Their ratings have not improved. If anything, they've got worse since the whole Forbidden Door thing started. And I think the honest reason for that is because it sounds like a lot of fun to do the big stars of AEW versus the big stars of New Japan. But the problem is New Japan is not in the same place it was a few years back, mainly because AEW took a load of their talent, right? So as a result of that, you've got less dream matches for people. And a lot of the stars that come over, maybe we've already seen them compete. But to be honest, I just think there's a lot of people that just simply don't care. I think there's a lot of people that it's hard to name New Japan and AEW dream matches now. I don't know. I'm sure you can find some, but we've done a fair few. And I just think the stars they've got now are no match for the star power of when Kenny was there, or the Bucks were there, or Hangman was there, or Jericho was there, or, you know, Tanahashi was at his height, or Okada was there, or Switchblade Jay White was there, or, you know, what are we left with now? What are we left with? I don't think we're left with anything that's that exciting. So I kind of look at it and I think, well, I just don't know. I don't know who that's really aimed at now. I don't know. I mean, you've got to be really into your wrestling to really be into the Forbidden Door now, I think. And the ratings seem to suggest that people have just sort of drifted away a little bit, and that this hasn't really caught on. You know, they've dropped to around the 700,000 range. We're not seeing that number getting back to 800,000 now that they're doing this. If anything, like, the slump has just sort of continued for them. And again, it's no criticism. I'm just observing facts, right? So I think you could understand WWE going, how many people really care about NXT and TNA? Like, if we did TNA fans, NXT fans, and push them together, where do those circles cross over? How many people are in the center? Because I don't care about TNA. I've already said I don't watch it. I wish them all the best. I don't wish them any ill will. If you watch it, God bless you, right? I don't care. I don't watch it. I've never watched it. So it's not on my radar. So I'm firmly in this circle over here. I don't care if we get TNA people in NXT. I don't care if we don't ever see them again, right? I'm firmly in the NXT circle. But there are people that watch both, and they live in the middle. This is going to cater more to those people. If, like me, like TNA people coming over, I don't mind it. It's not a problem. I can't really say that a pop. I mean, it was exciting seeing Jordan Grace, but I don't know. I mean, if Josh Alexander walks out, I've seen like one of his matches, so I'm going to be like, okay, show me what you can do. Let's see. I mean, I'm up for it. I'm open-minded. Let's see what you can do. Same with like Speedball Mike Bailey. Same. Heard the name. Heard he had a banger with Ospreay, but I haven't seen him, so I'm open-minded. Let's see what you can do. But it's not something that I'm going to be like massively popping over. It's not something where I'm going to be screaming the room down. I'm just being totally honest, right? So I feel like they're tiptoeing their way through it. I feel like they're gauging fan reaction. They're looking at numbers. They're looking at social media engagement, and they're trying to figure out, right, what's the next step? What's the next bit? And maybe if they can introduce enough different people over a period of time, then we can do the big NXT TNA program that people are looking for. But I don't think you do that until we've actually laid the groundwork, you know? Because to be honest, if we do Jordan Grace against, I don't know, Lola Vice, right, whoever, and we do Joe Hendry against Tony D'Angelo, right? We do Josh Alexander against Damon Kemp, right? Whoever we've got, right? You might need to have just introduced them to everybody first, because I promise you, not everyone that watches NXT watches TNA. The numbers support that. You know, like NXT's getting 600,000-700,000. TNA's getting what, 200,000. There's a lot of people where it does not cross over. So, yeah, I think I'm not surprised that they're not going quicker. I think they're going about it in a constructive way, in a good way. Actually, I think they're introducing people, and I think they're building. So, and I know that a load of stars, you know, keep going back and forth. So, you know, I'm sure that they're doing the same for the TNA crowd as well, sort of introducing a few people. You know, we saw Tatum Paxley, didn't we, with the whole Jordan Grace open challenge. I'm sure there will be other crossovers. I'm sure there will, because I thought the way that they handled Joe Hendry was, you know, you could understand people being upset, because he is a really hot over superstar at the moment, and he got dumped out all in like 2 seconds. So I didn't really get to learn much about him, to be honest, apart from the fact that, you know, he's over, but I knew that anyway. So, no, I think it's all constructive. I think it's all good. I think it's all building, and we'll see where it goes. I think ultimately it feels like we're probably building to NXT TNA against each other, maybe around Survivor Series. So why rush it? Yeah, why rush it? I think they're building it in a really good way, constructive way, in a educated way. Michael said the Bad Forbidden Door pay-per-view was okay. The pay-per-views are okay. The storytelling weekly is problematic. They could be much better, says Michael. But I like good pay-per-views, and they can deliver those. The Beach Kevin said it's starting to sound like Daze doesn't believe in Joe Hendry. Oh, it's not that I don't believe in him. It's that I don't know anything about him. I mean, he is someone that is just not on my radar. So I can't get excited about him or join in on the meme because I've not seen any of his matches. He's someone that I know his song did well in the charts. I know that he's managed to get himself like a bit of a cult-like following, but that is very much a hype train that I'm not on. I'm not purposely staying off it. There's just no need for me to get on it. There's no way of me getting on it unless I watch TNA. And I don't. So yeah, I mean, that's why when he came out in NXT, it was only a battle royal, but I was like, okay, let's see what he can do. Let's see what the hype's about. And I mean, it was frustrating, to be honest, because he only did a couple of seconds and he was eliminated. So, but it definitely makes me feel like we're going to see him again. I definitely feel like we're going to be seeing him further down the road, you know. They kind of set up a bit of like all of NXT turning on him. So I wonder if he kind of comes back and gets his revenge some way. Certainly don't think that's the only way they're going to be treating Joe Hendry, you know. It seems a bit strange. So I think it must be setting something up. So I don't know. I mean, do we see some TNA talent this weekend? Do they make their presence felt? Do they invade or something? I don't know. Big Time said AEW is having CMLL guys in lucha masks wrestling on Dynamite with New Japan. If you do start running off casuals by going too niche, AEW's 3 weeks were 680, 502 and 681. Even the 700,000 is fading. Yeah, I think that I mean, look, it's hard for me to speak about what their issues are. I'm sure that people that watch AEW have got a healthy list of things that they would change. But all I know is that their ratings are not going in the direction they would want them to be going in. And that is, you know, Forbidden Door has done nothing. If you go back a few years ago, for example, right, the idea of a Forbidden Door was so exciting. It was a proper, oh my God, OMG moment. This is the point I'm making. Like, I think people forget how exciting it was when the New Japan AEW relationship really came together. Like, it was so exciting because you were like, oh my God, we could do Okada against Bryan Danielson. We could do Naito against Jon Moxley. We could do this match with that match, this match, that match. There did feel a few years ago like there were lots of options. And I don't know if they saw a bump in their ratings around that point. But what I do know is you fast forward a few years and it just doesn't feel like it has any impact now. It doesn't feel like Forbidden Door. It doesn't feel like the dream matches are there. It doesn't feel like New Japan's in the same position that it was. It's a shame, but this is what's going to happen if AEW go and raid New Japan and take all that great talent. You know, what are you leaving them with? They're going to have to create new stars, and that's going to take a lot of time. That's going to take a long time to really develop like some big new internationally known stars, you know. So it's a challenge for New Japan. It is very difficult, but that I think has shown in the fact that they didn't get great ratings for, you know, what they just did, the program they just did. Corey says, agreed, wrestling Russ. Zach said, what's up, Daze? I'm not feeling well. Yeah, I didn't feel brilliant earlier. I don't know if there's a little thing doing the rounds. I think I've shook it off now. But when I started the Wrestling Escape Pod, I was a bit like, oh, feeling it. But I think once you get going and, like, you know, you get stuck into something, I think you kind of can shift it a little bit. Sometimes the worst things you can do is sort of just sit there and can sort of overwhelm a little bit if you're not feeling brilliant. But yeah, I'm feeling all right now. Hope you feel better soon as well. Right, I want to try and blast down. Tom said, Twitch ain't really strict with copyright people to find loopholes to stream wrestling with AEW or WWE. Eric says, Daze, if TNA is going to work with NXT, don't you think you should cover TNA more, says Eric. Well, no, I mean, it's not something I've ever covered. And I think for the very little crossover that there's going to be, because I certainly don't think this is going to be like a major every single week. Do you know what I mean? If there's a little relationship that's there, then it's going to be the odd stars that are going to be coming back and forth. Plus also Tommy does it, and I wouldn't want to step on his toes. So, I mean, what I would say is if Tommy wasn't doing it, maybe where NXT stars are popping up over there and we've got the odd TNA star coming over here, maybe I could be tempted to watch those shows where we're kind of going through this little period where we maybe build into something. But it's not something that I think is going to be... how do I word it? It's not that it won't be permanent, because it could be permanent, but I don't think it's going to be consistent. Like, I think the vast majority of NXT shows in 2025 are going to be just NXT. But I could see this relationship being mutually beneficial. And it may be something along the lines of New Japan, where there's like a key moment in the year where we really do focus on that relationship. For example, we don't really need to be working with TNA as we build to WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver, because that's such a busy time of the year. We're not really looking to work with TNA at that point. We don't need TNA at that point. The focus is on WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver and building towards that. You could always bring the odd star over, but, you know, NXT is about building our own stars, you know? So at that point, you could understand them not thinking that's the time to work with TNA. Like, we don't need to do it right now. But in the summer months, or maybe around Survivor Series, maybe they will traditionally look to use that time. That'll be the time in the year where they do try to work with TNA. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the moment it's been quite sketchy, and don't quite know how it's going to settle down. But certainly not expecting this to be like every week we get a different TNA star popping up. I think there'll be more weeks than not where it's just NXT on its own. Alkaline Prime said, believing in Joe Hendry is a bit of a rip-off of Bo Dallas. All you have to do is Bo leave. Brony said, I really hope they don't have Drew win Money in the Bank. Same. And then Punk costs him later in the night. With Drew cashing in, their feud is already hot and it doesn't need the briefcase, said Brony. I completely agree. I would hate to see that briefcase being sacrificed. I think the Money in the Bank is so exciting. People love cash-ins. And I think, like, it would be a bit predictable if Drew had it that he's going to drop the ball, that CM Punk's going to cost him. You know, it's not the direction I would go. The only thing that would make me interested in that is if we do Drew versus Punk, winner gets the briefcase, and then Punk wins and gets the briefcase. That would be quite interesting. I wouldn't be too down on us going down that path, but I think I would sooner see Jay win it, or certainly Sammy. I've got other options that I prefer, let's put it that way, and I certainly don't want to see Drew fail a cash-in because of CM Punk. That, I think, would be very disappointing. Very disappointing to see a cash-in fail just to add a little more heat to a feud that's already hot enough. I don't think it needs that. So, yeah, I agree. Not a direction I'm looking to go. My show Alt said, I would like to see WWE NXT come face-to-face with AEW like the old Monday Night Wars. Corey said, Penta and Rey Fenix need to come to WWE. Wrestling Russ said, I have a feeling Punk will cost Drew Money in the Bank. Well, I'd be all right with that as long as it's during the match. As we said, I wouldn't be a fan of Drew winning the briefcase and then Punk costing him, because that would just seem to me like it's a real waste. Like, we're really throwing away the whole Money in the Bank concept this year, you know? We'd still have the women's, but it would be a shame. Tom said, Penta's gimmick screams WWE, but his wrestling style fits AEW so well. Joe said they definitely need to come to WWE. Zach said, what is up? Zach, as I said, I hope you feel better soon, buds. Toby Trini Firefly said, Alkaline Prime, what a weird way to say you know nothing about Joe Hendry, considering those gimmicks are not the same. James said they're completely different as well. Corey says, Punk will cost Drew. Tom said, everyone knows this, but they can't have a dream match after dream match after dream match with no builds. They need story, and Tony should know that, says Tom. Joey said, I thought there would be more than just two TNA stars in the Battle Royal. Kind of a letdown. Multiple locker rooms, Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, well, they did say multiple locker rooms, and they didn't lie because there was Raw and SmackDown involved, as you said. I agree. I was also surprised that there was not more. I think what surprised me more than that, as I said, was the way they treated Joe Hendry, because I could understand if you had, say, 3 or 4 in there, and then you got rid of Joe Hendry, because at least then you've got, like, some other stars to focus on. But outside of, what was it, Frankie Kazarian, there really wasn't anyone else from TNA to really focus on. And to be truthful with you, I didn't even know Frankie Kazarian was in TNA, because last time I saw him, I believe he was in AEW. So it was... yeah, I don't know, it was a bit strange. I think we could have done more, at least 1 or 2 more in that Battle Royal. I do agree with you. But I think, you know, the focus was on Joe Hendry. He got that entrance. He got the entrance, and he got a quick chance to talk. But why have him eliminated so soon? It doesn't. I was looking forward to seeing him. So, but it's got to be setting something up, hasn't it? It's got to be setting something up. Johnny said, Daze, when I hear AEW say it's where the best wrestle, I feel like it's a bit disrespectful to other promotions and different athletes in different promotions, and I feel like it is disrespectful. Paul said, Daze, feel Balor could cost Priest the title at Money in the Bank, setting up their match at SummerSlam. Do you know what's really interesting? I don't know why I've not thought this, but you lot sharing your thoughts about Money in the Bank is making me wonder now, why the flip have we not done a video where I ask for your thoughts on what's going to happen at Money in the Bank? So what I'm going to do is I'm definitely going to add that to my calendar. I'm going to start using my calendar now. I'm definitely going to add that to my calendar for Money in the Bank community predictions. Let's do that. So I'm going to do that on Friday. So on my second channel, I'm going to do Money in the Bank predictions tomorrow, NXT Heatwave predictions on Thursday, Money in the Bank community thoughts, your thoughts on Friday. I haven't got anything for Saturday. Sunday, your thoughts on Money in the Bank. So opinions video. We'll get your thoughts on that. And then Monday, we'll do NXT Heatwave predictions videos. Lovely. Oh, I need to fit in. Oh, and that means that Saturday can be SmackDown. Oh, God, will I have time for that? I hope so. I'll make time. Oh, man, we're pretty stacked on that second channel, you know. SmackDown opinions. Okay. Into that. I'm into that. Let me... Goods. Yeah, this is goods. So, yeah, we'll do SmackDown opinions each Saturday. We'll do... Tomorrow I'll do my Money in the Bank predictions. Thursday, I'll do my NXT Heatwave predictions. Friday, I'll get your thoughts about Money in the Bank on the second channel. Saturday, I'll get your thoughts about SmackDown. Sunday, I'll get your thoughts about Money in the Bank and how it went. Monday, I'll get your thoughts on NXT Heatwave. Tuesday, I'll get your thoughts on Raw. So we're kind of getting some stuff on that second channel, which is good. I mean, I think we're pretty good at doing that anyway, but lots and lots coming up on that second channel. I like that. That's good. Okay. We're filling that out. Sing the best wrestle at one promotion is the saying you're the best wrestler in one promotion is the equivalent of people saying they're the best cola drink. Think about it. It's competition. You've got to hype your own product. You look for weaknesses in the other. Big Time said Daze, not sure, but Izzi Dane appeared in TNA to challenge Jordan Grace last week. No Quarter Catch Crew debuted. It was all taped TNA that were recorded last Saturday. Kevin said you should do TNA Impact live stream. That's Tommy Toy Travels. Do you do live streams during PLEs? Said Joey. 100%. But yep, we'll be live this weekend for Money in the Bank, and we will be live for NXT Heatwave. It is a wrestling weekend this weekend. I'm very, very excited about that. Very excited about that. So it is a wrestling weekend, as we said. And honestly, I really do think that's they're amongst my favorite weekends. I absolutely love when we've got a wrestling weekend to get our teeth into. Let me go into this. Boom, boom. Right. Daze, I have to say the material between AEW's Jacob B. Watts and Nicholas Komoroto has been great. I see them as future WrestleMania main eventers. Can't comment, but I don't watch. I don't know. But if you're enjoying it, that's good. Days, I'm going to go to SmackDown in Newcastle, and it'll be my first time, said Mr. Foxy. Well, Mr. Foxy, I hope you have a great time, my friends. I hope you have a great time. I hope you enjoy the show. And I think that, I mean, it's normally good, to be honest, going to, I'm guessing that's a house show. I haven't heard they're doing, like, the proper SmackDown from there. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy it, my friends. It's always different and fun to go to live events. Right, let's go down. I'm enjoying the NXT relationship much more than the TNA AEW one. I hated that because of Tony paying for ad space on TNA and belittling TNA. Yeah, I think there is a bit of a balancing act there in the sense of, you know, I mean, I hope I'm being clear in that I don't wish them any ill will, and I genuinely don't. I mean, I don't really have any reason to. So I wish them all the best. I hope that this works for everybody involved. I think that it can. I think it's great for WWE. It makes sense because they, you know, need to kind of find a way of getting some of that indie talent into the company. The thing is that indie talent can find a way of getting to TNA or can find a way of getting straight into AEW, and we sort of miss out on people. So at least this way we've got like access to some great talent that's coming through, because I think TNA know that they're more than likely not going to be holding on to people if WWE are interested in them. I feel like they've got money, but there's been a lot of talk about them having to cut back as well, and a lot of talk about how financially things aren't like maybe quite as rosy as they used to be. So I sort of feel like it works for WWE in that regard. We can also send people over and they can, you know, get some experience, more experience, different experience, which is obviously very positive. So it kind of works and all that. And of course, I mean, we've spoke, it works for TNA. They can get their talent onto NXT, which is getting seen by a load of people. I mean, TNA's views are like, what, 100,000, 200,000. Well, they can get their wrestlers onto a show that's been watched by 700,000. So there is a big pool of people there, myself included, that watch NXT and don't watch TNA. It's brilliant for them to get that exposure and to get like eyeballs on their superstars and to just be legitimized by WWE. WWE does not speak about that many wrestling companies. So for WWE to turn around and go, yeah, these guys, we like these guys. These guys are cool with us. Like, it's a bit like WWE's kind of giving people permission. Like, you can watch these guys. These guys are cool. We like these guys. These guys are in our good books. And, you know, wrestling fans don't need that, but it's a bit different to hear WWE kind of giving their support, if you will, like their backing. So it's cool. It's really cool. I think it works for everybody. But it's just, you know, where's it going? I think it could go to a big pay-per-view premium live event. I think there's definitely scope for that. But we'll have to wait and see. Right, we should be going over to the show now. I'm trying to... My settings are a bit weird. I can't get any audio coming through, which is a real frustration. That is a little bit of a problem. Right. Let's go. Okay. What are your thoughts on Shane going? I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. I mean, I don't even know that there has been any talks. I mean, I think Dave Meltzer came out and said it was a load of nonsense. I mean, it just doesn't feel like something that's going to happen. Like, I know that it's all about shocking the world and all that kind of stuff, but I don't get it. Unless there's got to be a reason for it, unless he's like really angry at how they treated his dad, you know? Unless it's like something like that, they're really upset, they're really angry. He's really angry. I don't quite get it. I don't quite get why he would go there, because it's not his company. He's got connections in WWE still. I don't know if he's still got stock, actually. I don't know why he would want to contribute to a competitor. So I just can't quite get my head around. It's only if he wanted to hurt. If he wanted to hurt WWE because of like maybe how he feels his dad was treated, then, you know, perhaps he would go that way. But I don't know. I mean, it's a bit weird, to be honest. I don't quite get where that rumor came from. Meltzer shot it down. Right. Here we go. Jaida Parker is making her way down to the ring. So, Jaida Parker. So, Jaida Parker is in the ring. Right, lovely. If you had to compare a famous wrestling business to a food entree, what would that wrestling business be? Dude, your questions are just insane. Here's Michin. She's dragging out a trash can. Michin dragging out a trash can with a chair inside and a trash can kendo stick. There's a trash can lid that went flying, and we're underway with our opening contest. Michin versus Jaida Parker right now. So, street fights. This should be fun. I really like Jaida Parker. I think she's got quite a high ceiling. Michin, obviously, great talent. So, street fight. Michin going underneath the ring, grabbing a load of items. She's got a toolbox. Joy Marie said, good day, everyone. Can I notice in the opinion videos that not all are red? Is it because it's too long, said Joy Maurice. Yeah, to be honest, when we were going for an hour, it was good because I could get to everyone's... Well, we were doing pretty good at getting to everyone's thoughts, which is obviously something that I like to do. But I found that I was repeating the same thing again and again and again, and it's quite hard to make that, I think, an enjoyable watch. Because I think it's difficult, obviously, because those comments are not really sorted in any order. So you never know quite what you're missing out on. Because I don't read them in advance, I just read them live. So you never know quite what you're not getting to. But having done them a fair few times, there was a lot of times where I've done hour-long videos and I feel like I'm just repeating the same stuff. If you go back and watch a lot of those hour-long opinion videos, you'll see I'm saying stuff like, oh, this is very much the theme of the video. Here's that word again. Because a lot of people have the same thoughts. So I feel like half an hour is probably easier to digest. It's probably less repetitive. and we're still getting a good amount of people through. So, you know, you have to draw that line somewhere. It used to be an hour, but I'm looking more to do it in about half an hour now. But I am also looking to actually turn up the number of videos that we do. So more videos for that are less long is probably a better way forward. So rather than doing, like, you know, 3 videos that are an hour long, I'd rather do 6 videos that are half an hour long and do one like each day, pretty much. So that's kind of where my head's at with that. I still love them, but I'm trying to find ways of making them, dare I say, even more enjoyable to watch, where we maybe are a little less repetitive. It's a balancing act, isn't it? You know, you want to get through everyone's points. People have been kind enough to send their thoughts through, but you are also conscious of people watching that maybe just don't want to hear the same things being said again and again. Michin with a trash can, taking it over to the corner. Right, for about 5 minutes there, I was really struggling because I had no sound coming from NXT, so I was just having to wrestle with that. But it's sorted now. We're in a good place again. So right now we got a trash can in the ring. I think, is that a boob that's fallen out? Well, I don't know what's just come out there. Boom! What is that on the edge of the ring? I think it is a bit of like a fake boob bra piece. 2. Shoulder up there by Michin. Boom. Brilliant. A lot of people don't pay attention or care to answers. They just want to hear their name, says SP. Yeah, I understand that. I think for those people that just want to hear their names, I can understand that being a disappointment. But, you know, if I think rather than worrying about the 80 people that sent in comments, I'd rather be putting the 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people that watch the video like first. Like, make it as good for them people as possible, you know? Because of those, say, 80 people that have left comments, we'll get to a third of them, you know? We still get through a good chunk. It's just, I think, gone are the days now where we can definitely get through all of them. So just something to bear in mind. It's not a knock against anyone in particular. It's just, how do we make those videos as good as we possibly can? And that's, I think, a question you have to ask yourself really with everything you do if you're online. Right now, Jaida is in a chair. Michin goes against the ropes. Suicide. Oh, my God. Oh, that was horrific. Face first. She did a suicide dive into the flipping chair. It looks dented. And I'm on about her face. Oh, now Jada's gone through the barricade. This is sick. This is cooking, mates. Oh my God, is she okay? She's like touching her nose. I don't even know if she's got one left. Mate, that was sick. That was sick. NXT is cooking. We knew this would be a good match, in all fairness. I mean, both of these can absolutely deliver. They're like Nikki Cross. They're like Abby the Witch. We know these can absolutely deliver. Right, Michin against Jaida. Let me map this out so that I'm ready to get your scores. Thomas said, my mom was cleaning and she found a handbill for a house show that she took us to in 1988. No way, man. Where the Rockers beat Andre and DiBiase. It was a highlight of the year. That's sick. That's really cool. That's a great find. Rockers versus Andre and Ted DiBiase. Wow. Wow. I didn't even know that match had happened, but I can believe it had happened. Because Andre and the $1 Million Man, of course, were teaming at that time. So, I mean, it does make sense. But that's really cool. That is really cool. Cut in the audio during Holy Chance is getting ridiculous. And it's so effing unnecessary. Yeah, that is a frustration for a lot of people. That was nasty, said I am your father. Mama Mia, said Sugar Boy. Tell you what, people enjoyed that spot. That definitely got people going. I agree. Very exciting. Very exciting. So we are about to get back underway with this street fight. Coach Co, hello Coachy Co. Hope you're well. Hope you had fun. Coach Co, we saw a little girl in the front row. She appeared to be crying. I think she might have had an accident, not sure. She was young. And like her mum was checking on her and she was like, are you okay? I think she gave her like a pacifier and like a little soft toy, and that seemed to settle her down, which was lovely. Was that you? It was you that was in the front row of Raw last night in Boston. It was around about where your picture was taken from. I just wondered. That was all. I just wondered. A lot in the community were trying to figure out which one you was. I had a sneaky suspicion that was you, but I'm not sure. I thought I'd ask. Coach Co said it was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tan. The old man said to me, won't see another one. Sang a song, the rare old mountain dew. I turned my face away. I dreamed about you. Sieve alone, clever for. Coach Co. Shout out to you, my friends. Hey, shout out to you. Daze, they are cooking. They are cooking, I know. Yeah, Coach Co, I hope you had a great time. All joking aside, you'll have to kind of, in your own weird way, communicate if you did. I hope you did. And also, I hope you get the Barbie you're hoping for this Christmas. Right. Where's this flipping... This commercial break's been forever, man. Is anyone else still at commercial? Simulation said, when would you predict viewership numbers go to 4 million? Oh, no time soon. I mean, we don't know what Netflix is going to do, of course, but that would be a hell of a jump. I mean, for them to go up to, like, double what they're doing, I mean, that's hard to see that happening, to be honest. That would take a long road, a long time. And there's just no sign of us even making that kind of movement, you know. Right, Michin empties out some nuts and bolts. We've got a load of chairs in the ring. Michin has got a load of nuts and bolts. Double underhooks. Oh, package driver. Look at that. Jaida's in trouble, man. No, reversal. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. 2. Oh, and Michin kicks out. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, they're cooking. Mates, the way she got her ready for that package driver. But Jaida managed to reverse it. It was Michin that went into that chair. It was Michin that went into those nuts and bolts. Michin that's wailing away on Jaida right now. Look at these kendo shots, man. Jaida in the corner just getting absolutely battered. Wow. Jada's down. She's struggling. She's feeling the effects of this one. And I can't say I blame her. It's absolutely awesome. So, yeah, these two are putting on a real fun contest. Daze, this is awesome, said Johnny. It's really good, isn't it? Really good. Both women are back up on their feet as, oh my God, Jaida in the corner. Trash can over her head. Is that it? 1, 2. Oh my God, she kicks out, and only just as Jaida rolls out the ring. Absolute flipping carnage in this match. Now we've got a pipe as Michin goes to the outsides. She's got this steel pipe. She's making her way around. Oh, fire extinguisher in the face. Mates. I didn't know where we were going with that. And oh, hip attack. Oh, into the platform. Oh my God, we've seen a few superstars going into there before. Normally it's Bron Breakker spearing people, but oh my God. She actually hip attacked her into part of it that didn't break. Did you see that? She hip attacked her into like more the side that had no give to it whatsoever. Mate, that was sick. Mate, that was sick. I tell you what, I would not be surprised if these have got some pretty bad bumps and bruises after this. Jaida against the ropes, and again. Oh, another hip attack. Michin goes right over into the corner, and Jaida wins. An absolutely brilliant, brutal contest. That's how you start NXT. That's how you start NXT. Oh, mate, let's go. That was so much fun. That's oh my God, did you see the replay? She hip attacks her, but Michin gets caught right on the flipping support. Oh my God. Jaida Parker picking up a win, and that's a big win for Jaida Parker. Right, we're backstage. Carmen Petrovich, Ariana Grace. She's taking some deep breaths. She's trying to get attention. What's wrong? Oh, what, me? It's nothing. I don't want to talk about it. Come sit. Yeah, what happened to Gigi? Do you remember she was trying to make Gigi? Soul snatched my soul. And she took my heart. I'm from Toronto. My people are waiting for me. Oh. She's devastated. I mean this lovingly. You're not as Canadian as me. So they're both from Toronto, apparently. JC and Jasmine have arrived. I'm not with... She's so good, Ariana Grace. She's good in these moments. Jasmine and Carmen are stepping up to each other, but Jasmine walks away. Here we go. Javon Evans. This is a bit like a flipping UFC. We've got Javon in like a dark room, and the way he was talking there, it was a bit like a video package for UFC. Javon Evans, the young OG. Johnny said, I voted all time. But a lot of men need to watch how those two just work a street fight, said Wicked does. It's so good. That is going to be so well received, that match. And do you know what? I mean, no disrespect to NXT, but I really feel like we needed that match tonight. I think that NXT has done some really good stuff in recent months, but there has also been the odd show in there that has kind of underwhelmed, failed to deliver, not quite met the expectation. NXT, you never quite know what you're going to get. Sometimes it can bang, and it can bang hard. But as we've seen from the show scores this year, a lot of the shows have actually... they're more towards the bottom end, actually. 2024 overall, I wouldn't say has been brilliant for NXT, but recent months, I would say we've seen an uptick, and that's shown in the scores. So you never know what you're going to get when you tune in. And what with this being a go-home, I was like, oh... So to start with that match, I just feel like, yeah, man, we needed that. We needed that. Because you can build, everything else can build from it now. Everything else can just get built on top of that hot start. New Catch Republic taking on Hank and Tank. Let's see what we're going to get with these two. Right, where are we? 100 votes. Keep getting in your thoughts. Brony said, doesn't Javon look a little bit like Israel Adesanya, or is it just me? I could sort of see that. Yeah, I can see that. There's Tyler Bate. There's Pete Dunne making their way down. How are those women walking? Edward said, I did predictions for the WEP, but it's all right if you didn't receive it. To be honest, mate, I'm just drowning everywhere. My DMs are drowning, my emails are drowning, everything's just flipping drowning, so I didn't really haven't dug into emails in a hot minute. I'll try and get back on top of them and see if I can get them all cleared down. Sunny, shout out to you. I hope you are well. How's your day been today? Said Spartan. My day was all right, thank you. A little bit strange. I didn't feel brilliant earlier, but I feel fine now. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, I always find on a Monday I tend to stay up quite late because obviously after Raw I do like a Wyatt 6 video, and normally I'm not able to get every single point that everyone makes, like all the big juicy stuff that people have sent me. So normally what I do is I'll do a Wyatt 6 video and then mop up stuff that, you know, you have to kind of do a video at some point. And obviously people are going to bed as well, so you need to do it relatively close to the end of Raw. But then that does mean that you don't like pick up on everything, but that's fine. That's what the next day's for. So I normally find that once I've uploaded that video, I'm still up a while kind of reading through stuff and seeing what people are saying, and so it means I tend to go to bed around lunchtime. So then when I get up, I have something to eat, and really before I know it, it's time for the Wrestling Escape Pod. So yeah, my Tuesdays I suppose are a bit delayed really. I find my Mondays are quite long. But other than that, all goods. Thomas said, did you have a split screen commercial during the match? No, buds. No, we don't get split screen on because NXT in the UK is on the WWE network. It used to be on TNT Sports, but I don't think the ratings were very good. So it's come off there now. So now it's just on the WWE network. So we don't have split screens on the WWE network. So I don't know, when you go to commercial, I don't know if we just go to commercial or if we just stick with the show. I don't know the answer to that. But we're at, like, right now, I'm at a commercial break, but I'm just seeing things that are advertising, like the network, or just advertising different shows, like Broken School Sessions and stuff like that. Enter the Darkness. This is something to do with the 3 decades of dominance. Every iconic WrestleMania match. Every tombstone. Every last ride. Every soul claimed. Rest. If you want the Phenom, there's only one place. WWE Network. It's just adverts like that, and that's what we get. So yeah, no, I don't think we do get split screens. Johnny said, I hate split screens. Makes the action small and it makes the commercials big. Paul said, I'm going to go to AEW Dynamite and Collision in Cardiff. Well, I hope you have a great time, my friends. I hope you have fun. I saw the ticket prices for that were quite expensive, but listen, it's worth it if you're going to go and enjoy it. I was looking at the Wembley tickets. I mean, I probably won't do it now, but I was looking at the Wembley tickets because I was like, man, for 30 quid, I could go and see Ospreay. I could go and see Okada. I could go and see Bryan Danielson. And not only that, I've only ever been to Wembley, the new Wembley, once. So even just kind of walking up Wembley Way, going inside the building, getting something to eat, getting a drink, or whatever, being in Wembley, even that's like a bit of an experience because it's our national stadium. Of course, it's Wembley. So I was like, oh, I could be tempted there. To be honest, I still could be tempted. If the walk-up prices were good, I still could be tempted. But at the moment, I don't think I'm doing it. James said, I'm going to miss the network when it goes. I know. And you know, James, I'm concerned that we might lose stuff. I mean, I don't know that everything translates over. I really don't know. I feel like right now, there's no need for anything really to be censored. But I've heard that on Peacock, they've sort of been removing matches and removing things which are controversial, you know? I'm not a fan of doing that. I think once you pick up that thread, I sort of feel like, I don't know where you end up, you know. I'd much prefer it if we put like a warning at the start, you know. You might find things in this to be offensive or something. Here's Kalani. Second in the nation on floor. Yeah, I mean, she's really impressive. Kalani Jordan is really impressive. I wonder if she ever met Simone Biles. God, look at that. Look at her, like, doing her gymnastics. She's going to be a big star, isn't she, Kalani? Kalani against Sol Ruka is going to bang, mate. Kalani against Sol Ruka is going to be one hell of a match. I mean, it's just going to be a brilliant match. Lani is going to make it happen. NXT Heatwave this weekend. We will be live for that as well on the channel. On Sunday, we'll be starting nice and early as we cover NXT Heatwave. Okay, here's Hank and Tank making their way down to the ring. So that last match, or our first match, got a great rating. Great 76. Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, here's Hank and Tank coming in. We don't really see much of Hank and Tank. As a result, they haven't really got much in the way of star power, and I don't mean that as a disrespect. So Pete and Tyler are just sort of staring at them at the moment. I'm not sure they quite know what to make of them. The go-home show for Heatwave. Hank and Tank are cool, said Davids. Why is it okay for all these wrestlers to be bonking each other, but workplace relationships anywhere else are frowned upon? I don't know that you can stop it, to be honest. You can tell them not to do it, but they're just going to keep on bonking. You know, these are good-looking young boys and girls in their peak physical conditions. It's very difficult to stop them bonking. Right now, we're starting off with Hank and Tyler. You can't remove matches from shows because of one person. It's impossible. If you try to delete someone, you're deleting a lot of other wrestlers' matches. It's true. You kind of disrupt storylines and you disrupt other people's histories, and you know, it's very difficult, isn't it? I mean, I get it. No one wants to watch stuff that offends them. I totally understand that, but it's just it feels like a slippery slope, and I don't know. I think with the WWE Network, WWE can obviously control their censorship themselves, but once you go to Peacock or once you go to Netflix, you start answering to Peacock, you start answering to Netflix, because they won't have anything on their platforms they're not comfortable with. And so that's the concern, is that I don't know what they're not going to be comfortable with. I don't know what has aged badly. I don't know what gets affected. So you do just sort of worry a little bit as to what gets cut, what gets censored, what, you know. Oh, shoulder tackle there by Tank. Hank and Tank are both in the ring right now. They collide over. Pete Dunne goes down. Wrestler Andy said, do we think Netflix will have full WWE section on it? Well, I believe so, yeah, because that's where the network's going to. So, yeah, I would believe so. I would believe there will be a WWE section. I mean, they are spending a lot of money, aren't they? A lot of money. So this, I don't think, is a small transaction for them. I think this has been a big investment. So, yeah, I am expecting a WWE section. Coming up tonight, we've got Roxanne, Perez, and Lola Vice face to face. Kojiko said Kojiko has sent Daze incriminating evidence. Let's go, Kojiko. What have you sent me? Kojiko has sent these things through. Whoa, boom, lovely. Suplex by Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate. Na 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 na. So here is a picture of Rey Mysterio. Oh, it looks like you're flipping hovering over him, mate. Are you like the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit? What's this? How are you like hovering like a fly? Are you a fly? Mate, I tell you what, there's a few people that wouldn't mind that as a print. I could imagine that being put on a few people's walls. Do you know what I mean? Let's go. Let's go. God bless. Selfie. What's this? Okay. There we go. That is that's Kojiko. But not that. I don't think that's Kojiko unless it's a selfie. Liv Morgan. Is that how you say it? And there's Rey Mysterio. He seems to be looking at his penis, doesn't he? I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. Perhaps he's hook-twaring himself. I don't know. Kojiko, shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to you. I'm going to retweet that, Kojiko. I think that's what the people would want. Tatum has found a new friend, also. You got a friend in me. Tatum sat down. You got a friend in me. Oh. Tatum has found a new friend. Oh, I don't hate that. Are you ready? I don't hate that. Very good. Right, where am I going? Do you think NXT needs to send bigger stars to TNA so that people get to know who comes from them? Also, think an all-in vlog would be cool. All-in vlog. Well, I'm not going at the moment, so I can't do that. In regards to, do they need to send bigger stars? I don't know, to be honest. I mean, NXT is not really about bigger stars, is it? It's like, you can send Trick at some point, but we ain't got many Tricks. You know? I mean, who do you send? I mean, we've already done, you could send Roxanne, of course, or you could send Trick, but I don't know, if you send Ariana Grace, is that going to float people's boats? If you send Gallus, I don't know. I don't know who's bigger. I mean, I think if you want to go main roster, you could, you know, you could end up sending someone like AJ Styles or a Naomi or someone that's been there before, you know. But I really don't think this relationship is about that level. I really feel this is an NXT TNA relationship. That's kind of where, you know, they're pitching each other. NXT are sending people over. TNA are sending people over. This feels like we're building to NXT versus TNA. So I don't think that you're going to be seeing Roman Reigns popping up in TNA. But then I don't think anyone was really expecting that. But you could get Naomi because she's been there before, and I could totally see Naomi saying, I would love to go over, you know. AJ Styles has made noise about going back to TNA, so I could totally see that. So I think there's the odd exception, but by and large, it's going to be NXT level, you know. Right, we are back underway after being at commercial break. Edward said, Carmelo is so lucky to have Kalani Jordan as his girlfriend. Imagine the positions he can get her in because she's so flexible. What do you mean, like put her in the cupboard or something? I mean, girls don't like that. They like to be like free and stuff. I had a girlfriend once. I tried to put her in the cupboard. She didn't like it. It was quite roomy as well. She didn't even need to be that flexible, but apparently that's not how you store women. You know what my theory about TNA is, said OSU. What is it? The next guys will slowly get replaced by TNA talent. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good theory. So as the NXT guys get called up, they come over from TNA. Yeah, I think there may be something to that. It depends kind of who WWE is interested in, what the contract situation is like. I can't believe that WWE wouldn't be interested in Joe Hendry. I can't believe they wouldn't be interested in Josh Alexander. I can't believe they wouldn't be interested in Hammerstone. You know, there's definitely people. It's not a bad roster. I mean, we had a look down. It's not a bad roster. I feel like there is definitely talent. Oh, Jordan Grace. Oh my God. They absolutely want Jordan Grace. So yeah, they desperately want her. But yeah, I think there's plenty of talent in TNA that WWE has kind of got its eyes on. So I think that's a real benefit. I think it puts WWE at the front of the queue for some of that talent. They can sort of bring them in, make them feel comfortable, so that when their contracts are up, WWE can come in and, you know, stand a better chance of getting the person rather than AEW, you know. 1, 2, and a save there by Tyler Bates. So Hank Tank, Tyler, and Pete Dunne. We've had a couple of commercial breaks during this. We're over a quarter of a way through the show. Against the ropes goes Tyler, gets picked up, and head scissor takeover. Tank goes over to the corner. Hank comes over. Hank goes to the outside. Tyler's on his feet. He's trying to get the crowd on board. Tyler goes against the ropes. Through the ropes. Gets caught by Hank and Tank. So they slam Tyler on top of Pete Dunne. I mean, these are two decent-sized guys, but I just don't know how much Tyler and Pete should be struggling against them. Yeah, but at the moment, Hank and Tank are the ones that are in control. Tank gets in the ring. He tags in Hank. Big boot there by Pete. I just don't see what they see in Hank, to be honest. I don't see it. 1, 2, kick out. Rusev needs a lawyer with his divorce, said Corey. WWE versus TNA. Uncle Howdy could go after WWE Forgotten Sanity. I would love it. TNA would grow, said Chris. Matt said, I was thinking they could send people such as Sean Spears, Ethan Page, Trick Axiom, Obafemi, Roxanne, people that are big. I mean, we can end up sending them, but I don't know if Axiom and Nathan, are they much bigger than Charlie Dempsey and Damon Kemp, or I don't know. I mean, we sent Tatum Paxley. I don't know that I can really make an argument that, you know, she is not any bigger than Axiom. Pin for Tyler. I do agree with you, though, that Roxanne, Trick, they're our champions. So they're the top of the tree. I think they could end up going. They could end up going. But I feel like we're working towards that. Okay, so Tyler Bate ends up getting the victory. I mean, that match was kind of what it was. The crowd were seated throughout. It didn't do a great deal for me, but let's see what it did for you. Perhaps you feel different. Now we've got Sean Spears saying a few words. Wrestling said, hear me out. What if Omos won the NXT title and had a run? Yeah, why not? Give it a go. It's better than what we're doing with him at the moment, which is flipping nothing. So I could definitely get with that. Hank and Tank versus New Catch. It's a win for New Catch. This Sunday, I return home to Toronto. Could you imagine if he wins it? Imagine if they do pull the trigger on Shawn Spears becoming NXT champion. Do you know what? I wouldn't be against pulling the trigger on Shawn Spears. Javon's got plenty of time to win it. I don't think he needs it. I will win the NXT Championship, said Shawn Spears. Do you know what? We'll do this poll and then we'll do a poll asking, who do you think wins this? Ethan, Trick, Shawn or Javon? Who wins this? Right, Brinley Reece making her way out. I don't mind a bit of Brinley Reece. Let's go, baby. So, Brinley making her way. That's quite the outfit Brinley's got on, isn't it? So, Brinley Reece is in the ring. Doing some push-ups. Rated T for teen. Okay, so Brinley Reece in the ring. I totally think Shawn could carry that title for a bit, said Wicked Dust. Yeah, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. I mean, he's got a lot of experience, and I feel like he strikes me as someone that just needs that opportunity, really. He just needs that kind of... Give him the belt, give him some main events, give him some good singles opponents. Let's see what he can do. Give it a go. I know that the argument will be, but we're all in on Trick at the moment. But if we have a good feud lined up for Trick, that would be okay. I'd be okay with him not being champ for a bit. He could always win it back, be a two-time champ, you know? And his call-up can't be far away. Might not be this year, but I can't imagine it'll be any later than next year's draft. So, you know, he could lose it and then win it back and have another little run with it for a bit, but I can't see them not calling up Trick Williams in next year's draft. Let's ask who leaves as champion. Let's see what you think. Do you think it's going to be Trick that leaves as champion? Do you think it's going to be Ethan Page that leaves as champion? Do you think it's going to be Shawn Spears that leaves as champion? Or do you think it's going to be the young OG, Javon? Right, we are at commercial break. Deadpool Party said Sammy is beating Braun at Money in the Bank. Then Braun spears him. Chad cashes in the briefcase for the IC title, said Deadpool Party. Whoa. Big prediction, Deadpool Party. Big prediction. Mitchell said, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate back in NXT? Sort of. I mean, I think they sort of are doing double duty. What is their direction? It feels like a demotion. Well, no, I mean, I think if they haven't got anything for you on the main roster, then they sort of say, do you want to just go down to NXT for a little bit? I don't know that there's really much there for Pete and Tyler on the main roster. They'll find something for them. But at the moment, they're just down in NXT, providing a bit of experience and kind of propping up a roster that's a little light, shall we say, at the moment. You know, as we said, a lot of people got called up. Yeah, they brought in Ethan. And obviously that's a good injection of experience, but I think, yeah, it's worth having like your Michins around, your Good Brothers around, your New Catch Republics. So I wouldn't look at it so much as a demotion, just a temporary thing. Paul said, shame no one from NXT is in Money in the Bank. That would have been fun. Big Time said the tag match just never got going for me. Hank and Tank just aren't that exciting and the crowd weren't really reacting. I don't disagree. Crowd were a bit flat. I wasn't that crazy into it. It got a good 88%, which is actually maybe a bit higher than I thought. I think it's one of those where I think a lot of people have looked at it and gone, it was okay. It didn't move me enough to say it was bad. It was okay. And 63% of people put that. There were 20% that thought it was great, and there was 3% that thought it was an all-time match. Wild. James said, having Ethan win the title in the Fatal 4-Way is a bit weak. He's a star, and he should be treated like one. Taking the title on the biggest stage possible, said James. Hank and Tank really suck. I thought their characters were bland, but the in-ring is not that exciting, said Big Time. Okay, here's Stevie and Robert Stone. Okay, these two are bickering away. They're talking to Oro Mensah. It'll be you against Miles Bourne, so Oro against Miles. Okay, so they're arguing at the moment. Robert doesn't have the balls to tell you. But there we go. I'm not sure how I feel about that partnership. It's not really floating my boat. I like seeing Stevie Turner being used. I think she's good talent. I think I'd rather it just be her, though. Izzy Dame making her way down. Izzy Dame's got a good size to her. She's got an interesting look as well. We could get somewhere with Izzy Dame. Okay, so Anofi and Blades have obviously come down with Brinley. Anofi and Blades are stepping out of the ring. Brinley charging over. I don't think this is going to get a long amount of time. Again, she goes back over. Brinley charging over again. She gets scooped up, slammed down, and she gets back up to her feet again. She's picked up. Oh, planted! And she rolls out the ring. Kick coming in there by Izzy. Yeah, that was lovely. Good work there by Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame in control. Big power moves here. She's looking for a power bomb. She's got her up. Oh, on the shoulder. Lovely. Brinley goes over against the ropes. Back elbow there by Brinley. Izzy Dame very much in control at the moment. Forearm strikes coming in by Brinley. Against the ropes goes Izzy Dame. Shoulder tackle. Down goes Izzy. Shoulder tackle again. Brinley getting back into this. Bit of a Thez press, but not quite. Over in the corner, charging over, up. She's got face first into the turnbuckle. Okay, I did think there was a chance this might be one-way traffic, but it isn't. Brinley's actually giving a decent account of herself here. Grabbing the hair. What is she doing? I thought she was getting the hair and tying it to the ropes. That's what I thought she was doing. I was like, that's quite a heelish thing to do. Into the edge of the ring goes Brinley. She slumps down. Right now she's selling. She's in pain. Here's Tatum Paxley, who's come crawling out. Tatum Paxley is at ringside. Tatum Paxley is at ringside. She is watching Izzy Dame. Oh, Tatum Paxley upside down, leaning on the ropes. Roll up there by Brinley. 2. Oh, no joy. Brinley back up on her feet. Rolls up Izzy. 2. No joy. She's managed to get Izzy on her shoulders. Izzy gets back down. Big boot there by Izzy Dame. Yeah, big boot. Izzy Dame back in control. Tatum Paxley at ringside. Brinley is... Oh, wow. What was that called? Sit down on iDrive. Oh, I love that. I love that. iDrive, International Drive, is a road in Florida where a lot of tourists stay. I've stayed on that road many times. I don't know what a finisher's called. Sit down on iDrive or something like this. I've never sat down on iDrive personally, but I didn't mind that. Pretty short, sweet, some big power moves in there, a little bit of back and forth. Didn't mind that. Right, we've got Chase You. Let's end this poll because I need to ask you another poll. Big Time said it's crazy how Jaida Parker debuted in 2023. Her and Lola Vice already feel like superstars. They've done a good job of building them. Okay, so Duke Hudson says we didn't win clean. We beat Gallows and Anderson, but we didn't do it clean. This is in connection to last week. Ridge cheated. How could you? Thea's like, how could you? Look, guys. I know how this looks. I was over the moon when you gave me this t-shirt. I wanted to be part of a family. I was just trying to help. No one in this room, including myself, is free of mistakes. It's very emotional. Class dismissed. He's let you down. He's let me down. He's let himself down. We've even got a little bit of piano over the top. Very emotional. There's Lola. Lola Vice. Roxanne Perez. I'm gonna make you fall in love. I used to live on iDrive and World Center, said Mr. H-Bomb. I love iDrive. It's weird. iDrive's not what it was, to be honest, anymore. It used to be amazing, but every time I go, it just seems to be getting a little bit worse and a little bit worse. I think it's because when I went to Florida, like, back in the day, first time I ever went was 97, but I went in the early 2000s as well, and I don't know that there was like as many resort hotels back then. I feel like as the years have gone by, Disney have opened more resort hotels. I feel like Universal have opened more resort hotels. And what that's done is it's sucked all the tourists away from kind of outside of the parks. So outside of Disney, outside of Universal, you're starting to see things just maybe struggling a little bit. Things aren't really quite the same as they were. I mean, it used to be so vibrant. It doesn't quite feel that way as much. Still good shopping and whatnot, but a few restaurants that I used to go to have closed down. Quite a few shopping places I used to go to have closed down. I think a fair few hotels and things. It's like all things. Things change, don't they? But yeah, iDrive. I think it was called Sit Down on iDrive. Pretty fun name. The fact that Ridge is having such a prominent role on NXT makes me sick, said Big Time Baxter. Really? Mitchell said, if you was in Chase U, would you be a good student? Yeah, I think I would, actually. If I was in Chase U, then that means that I'm in WWE. So if I'm in WWE, I'm definitely not looking to rock the boat. I mean, I might end up rocking the boat, but I wouldn't be looking to do it on purpose. So yeah, I think I would be. We got commercial for a new Beavis and Butthead, said Corey. Johnny said, I don't know who will host the bump now since Kayla is gone. Daze, I don't watch the bump. I'm just interested in who's going to host it. Well, I mean, they said it's going to come back, but I heard, who was it? Someone speculated. Oh, it was Matt Camp. I don't know if you've seen his videos. Very interesting. Matt used to be a host on the bump. And now that he's no longer with WWE, you can talk a bit more openly. It's very interesting hearing him say that the Raw Thunderdome shows were garbage. Like, you know, it's like we know, but it's interesting to hear someone that was around at the time saying that they were garbage. And he was saying, like, he wouldn't be surprised if the bump doesn't come back. He's like, I know they said it would be gone for 5 weeks, but why? Why does it take 5 weeks to move studios? I mean, you should be able to do that in a week. Why does it take 5 weeks? And he also said, like, it just doesn't seem to add up. Like, why would they not promote its return? There's been no mention of it. So he's not saying he's heard anything, but he was just saying, like, he wouldn't be surprised if it didn't come back. But he was honest. He said he hadn't heard anything. But very interesting. Very interesting. Right, where are we? We are... Oh, God, we're nearly done with an hour? I can't believe it. Alkaline Prime said, if a person has amnesia and gets cured, do they remember what they forgot? If they have amnesia and they get cured, do they remember what they forgot? I don't think so. I wouldn't think so. Because I don't think it's storing those memories, is it? Is it a bit like having a faulty hard drive and when you fix it, you don't get the stuff that should have been saved because it was faulty? It's an interesting one, that. I don't think so. Right, here's Lola. Come out here. Right, here we go. Here's Roxy. The champ needs security. I must have shook you, bads. Well, you brutally attacked me last week. They're just here to make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay, well, Lola's pretty confident on the mic, isn't she? You can stop trying to intimidate me. It's not going to work, said Roxanne. I can see right through you. This Sunday is the most important match of your career. I wondered where she was going then. She said, you've built a bigger name for yourself here than you did in Bellator. And I thought she was going to say that that's not hard because you sucked or something like that, but she didn't. Lola chance. Aren't both of these technically heels, by the way? You are the champ. But in this ring, or in the cage, I am a fighter. She just... I don't know whose fault that was there. Lola was in the middle of saying something. Roxanne just jumped in, but it was clunky. Big problem for you. This isn't Bellator. We're not in the underground. This is a wrestling match. And it's true, Roxanne is a fantastic wrestler. She should out-wrestle Lola. But Lola can out-fight Roxanne. Yeah, I'm not here to fight. I'm here to wrestle. Love it. Love that. I was a fighter before I was even born. I've not told my story. She's getting emotional as she's telling. She's getting upset. Oh. Lola gets upset as she tells her story. The crowd are right there to support her, but you can tell this is very personal. I went into MMA to provide for my family. My mother will be watching me. I can't wait to call her and tell her, Mommy, I did it. For all your sacrifices, I am the new NXT Women's Champion. God, if I was Roxanne right now, I'd be like, wow. Thanks for sharing that. I really don't care. I could not care less if I tried. Every single woman in that locker room wants to make that same phone call, says Roxanne. If I was Roxanne, I'd be like, oh my God, that sounds like so hard. I think what's really upsetting me is knowing that when you lose, your life's actually going to be harder than that going forward. Like, your future's going to be worse. This is wrestling, not ballet. Yeah? No tears in wrestling. Take it elsewhere. Sister, take it to Oprah. It's unfortunate your NXT career was in the middle of my era. Well, I feel like this got really real, and I don't know that it was meant to get that real. But it made it noteworthy and well worth watching. They're still going, by the way. On Sunday. She's still upset. She's still upset. Who does she think she is? Cody Rhodes. I'll become the first Cuban American NXT Women's Champion. Look at her bursting into tears. She puts a smile on her face. She looks back. The security guard stepped forwards. Spinning back fist. The security guard went down. After I knock you out, you won't know what world you're in. Well, there we go. Too much crying, said the Beach Kevin. Great promo by Lola and Roxanne. Let's end this poll. Triton said that was terrible. Why did they make her get so emotional? I don't think they made her. I think she just did. I think she was talking about some very real stuff there, to be honest. I think she was very emotional in that moment. If I was Roxanne, I would be having to think, how do I respond to this? And I mean, the way you respond is by going, oh, I don't care, innit? That's how you respond to it. I mean, I think we're definitely positioning Lola as the face in this feud, and we're positioning Roxanne as the heel. I feel like that was a way of getting like a real lot of sympathy on Lola, but I don't even think they expected her to get that emotional, to be honest. I don't think even they expected her to get so teary. But as I said, she's dealing with, I think, some very real stuff there. I think everything she's just said is, I mean, that is not script. That is her talking about her struggles, you know. Let's get a score. Let's see what people thought about it. Did you think that was an all-time promo? Did you think it was great? Did you think it was, that was good, it was okay? Or did you think it was like, nah, that's bad. That's a bad promo. What did you think? We're only 5 minutes into the second hour. Dave said that was a pony promo from both of them. It was as real as it was. James said, how ironic that you lot complain about crying whilst crying about it. Nathan said, the WWE security is just like Star Trek red shirts. They have families. I know, man. He just got messed up, didn't he? Okay, we've got Miles. We've got No Quarter Catch Crew. R.O. Mensah is taking on Miles Bourne next. Oh, no, he's got brass knucks. Old Damon Kemp. Oh, yeah, this is tomorrow. Is this tomorrow? The YouTube thing. Documentary. Man. I can't wait to watch this. I'm watching this live. I don't know that I'm doing a live stream, but I am watching it at 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's go. I'm gonna put that in my diary, in my calendar. WrestleMania 40 behind the curtain. Guys, that's in my calendar now. Let's go. Lola is going to get called up to the main roster real soon, said Taylor. Alex said James cries when the fatty looks in the mirror. Oh, hang on. What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? Have we got infighting in the community now? Because of a promo? Come on, kids. We're better than this. This community is better than this. Do a post-doc stream, said Matter. Diary Daze. That's what I am. Diary Daze, you're right. Wrestle Andy said, think about how we're going to talk about the good old network days. Yeah, you're right. This is going to be a period that we're going to really look back on, isn't it? And I think really kind of reminisce a bit like black and gold NXT. Mitchell says, after all that crying, she still had time to shake her butt at the end. Sometimes that's the best way to fight through the tears. You know, shake your butt. Shake your butt. I don't know about you, but when I'm crying, I like to shake my butt as well. It's part of her, isn't it? I mean, I saw a footage of her in Bellator, and after she won, she was dancing away in the thing. That is her as a person. I think, didn't they show it actually? I think they might have shown it on here as we built to the underground match. She got the win in Bellator, and then she was there like dancing away like that. That is who she is. That is what she loves to do. So It feels like it's like a bit of a character thing that they make her do, but I genuinely think she just loves doing it, so. The promo was pretty good, said Johnny. HMV are selling off WWE DVDs for 99p, said Paul. Let's go, Paul. Let's go. What have they got? Let's have a look. HMV. Is it just in the shops, is it? WWE. Let's have a look. They got nothing on the websites now. So it is literally just whatever is in stores, I'm guessing. They've got you can get the Scooby-Doo or the Jetsons movies. And you can get the video games. Do you know 2K22 you can get for $13.99? Bargain. $13.99. It's not the new one. It's from 2 years ago, but it was meant to be a decent game, actually. PS5. A PS5 game, £13.99. Can't be down on that. So yeah, it looks like it's just in stores only. Okay, what's this? Is this OTM? What's going on? Who are you? There's oh, wait, it's Eddie Thorpe. Here's Lexis King. Eddie Thorpe doing a bit of DJing. Lexis is like, you should be ashamed. Rock and roll, brother. Big riffs and big hair. No one likes that beep boop robot music. Beep boop robot music. God, I wish that was a genre. I'm playing again on Saturday if you want to roll through. What a cool life. TBH said, anyone notice there hasn't been any talent trades between the shows since the draft? I remember hearing that there might be some trades, but I may be wrong, said TBH. Well, no official trades. Might be a bit soon for that. There could still be some. Perhaps it's just a little too soon. Right, here's Meta 3. I think there's still Meta 4, but we don't have Noam Dar. So here we've got Oro making his way down to the ring with Jakara and Lash Legend. Oro versus, I think it's Miles. No, is it Miles? I think it's Miles. Okay. What's with all the uninteresting from NXT? I am bored, says Big Time. I thought Izzi Brinley was all right. Really enjoyed Michin and Jaida. I thought that promo segment, I mean, even if people weren't crazy about the crying and maybe thought it was a bit out of place or whatever, it was still noteworthy. I still felt like I watched something that was a talking point. So I actually don't think it's been too bad so far. Don't think it's been too bad. Right, that promo, 41% good, okay, 24% bad, 23% great, 11% all-time, so real mixed bag there. About 40% thought it was okay, about 25% or 24% thought it was bad, but then 24% thought it was great. Wow, so a real mix of opinion about that segment. I sort of see all sides. I don't want to play devil's advocate, but it felt a bit awkward in places because she got so emotional. You could sort of feel it coming off the tracks. It sort of felt like, oh, what's going on, man? What's this? We're trying to build towards a match here. The other thing I would criticize as well is the fact that Roxanne said about this is going to be a wrestling match. Like, you're brilliant in Bellator, but this isn't Bellator. This is going to be a wrestling match. So how does Lola respond to that? Surely the best way of responding to that is by telling her how good you are at wrestling. Yeah, that would seem the logical thing. This is going to be a wrestling match, not a fight like the world that you train in. This is going to be a wrestling match. So how does she respond? Well, she responds by saying, let me tell you about my sacrifices, and then talking about her mother and getting upset. So I would actually say that what she, it felt like it was getting a little off tracks, but also she was getting off tracks with something which didn't actually address the point. The point was, this is a wrestling match. I'm the queen when it comes to wrestling. So I feel like Lola needed to respond with something that addressed that. Instead, she went off on a tangent and went down like a completely different road. So that would be the kind of criticism that I would make. But if I was to give it some praise, I would say that felt like real emotion. It felt like what she was talking about was coming from a very honest place. I think it succeeded in winning her over with the crowds. This is technically like heel against heel, but I think that what we just saw there was, I don't know that it was a face turn, but she certainly endeared herself to people, so that's a tick. And I think that it was also a case that when you see something like that, it's a talking point. So, if you've watched NXT tonight, you might go to work tomorrow or school tomorrow, and you might say to your friends, did you see that promo? Did you see her get upset? Like, man, I really like Lola, and like that story that she told, that was kind of, it's made me look at her a different way. So even though it might not have connected, it still was very real, and it still had real emotion in it, and it was still significant. It was still a big talking point. You still felt like you just watched something. So I can sort of see both sides. I really, really can. I can sort of see both sides. As a result, I think I was a bit in the middle with it. I think I would have voted good, okay as well. But I would have been more towards the great than the bads. I would have been more towards the great than the bad, because every time we tune into a show, we're looking for a moment. We're looking for something that we can talk about, that we can debate, that we can say, oh, I like it because of this, or I don't like it because of this. And that segment could have been real bland, real boring, real paint by numbers, and we all would have just moved on with our lives. That segment was far from bland and boring, far from paint by numbers, right? It had some stuff in there that we can really check around and debate. And so for that reason, I'm gonna favor it more than not favor it. So I would have voted good, okay, but I would have had a little look at the great. That's kind of where I was with it. But for me, that has definitely provided a little something in the middle of the show. I thought that the street fight at the start was amazing. I actually really enjoyed the Brinley match against Izzi Dame. I was getting into that. I see them as two interesting upcoming talents. The tag match I don't think was that brilliant. Hank and Tank against New Cat, that wasn't doing it for me personally. Then we had that promo thing, which, okay. And now we've got Oro against Miles, and we are at commercial break. So we'll see what the final 40 minutes has got to bring. But Oro against Miles. I think Miles is very interesting. Be a good opportunity to have a look at him when we get back from this commercial break. I enjoyed that promo, said Johnny. I missed the last part. I needed to go to the bathroom. Wicked Dust said, besides the opening match, this has been a total shiz go-home show. Oh, Wicked Dust not enjoying it. Big Time said, Roxanne is a good heel, but this week feels like she fell apart and she couldn't remember her lines. Nothing she was saying had any impact. I agree with that. I agree that she didn't really stick the knife in. As I said, when she said about Bellator, like this, I really thought she was going to say, but you sucked in Bellator. But then I suppose she can't really, because that really is a big part. You know, Lola isn't really viewed as someone that failed in MMA. Or presented as someone that failed in MMA. she's presented as someone that wanted just a career change. So for Roxanne to kind of lay into her MMA skills, I suppose would be a bit of a strange direction to go when that really is Lola's identity, her striking and her MMA abilities, you know? So I suppose you look at it and you go, where can you get heat? If you can't lay into her MMA skills, do you really double down on the fact that she can't wrestle? Perhaps she could have gone harder there. Perhaps she could have said, look, as a fighter, you're amazing. I've seen your Bellator fights. I saw the underground match. You're incredible. You're my hero. As a wrestler, you're a joke. Maybe she could have gone with something like that and just landed something that would stick the knife into the wrestling side of it, you know? As a wrestler, you're nothing but a clown. Not enough wrestlers call each other clowns. Be an interesting one. I think that's one that you could definitely sit and watch in promo class when they gather together tomorrow. Sit down, everyone. We're gonna study this promo between Lola and Roxanne, which I think you could totally do. I think there's a lot to dissect from it. Oro going over as Miles is against the rope, belly to belly. Over the top goes Miles. Maybe NXT does need some TNA influence after a show like this, says Paul. Brinley said Trick and Javon Evans are probably the only talents that I'm interested in. Sensing more negativity than positivity in the chat. It seems like people are maybe not feeling this week's show, which is really strange because normally for me, you know, I would say normally I'm struggling to find my way in sometimes. Actually, I really think that opening with that street fight just got me. I was in. Sometimes I can watch that opening match and I'm like, it can feel a bit like the tag match and I'm like, and I'm struggling to find in, and we can have other conversations and get a bit distracted. But that street fight just brought me straight in, man. Damon was trying to hand the brass knucks to Miles. Miles didn't accept them. And as a result, Oro has come charging over and is going to be picking up the victory here. Let's get match scores on that one. James said this is a go-home show. It is. It is. Okay, scores on Oro and Miles. Gallus boys on top, said Chris. Besides the opening, this has been a bit flat, said Brony. But AKF said, I'm liking this week so far. So we got Metaphor in the entranceway, and they're happy with how that went. Okay, we got Booker T and Vic Joseph. We got 38 minutes left to go. It's about to get hot in Canada, says Booker. Oh yeah, Wesley against Obafemi. Wesley's got one shot at Obafemi. So, North American Championship up for grabs. A career tag team competitor that was forced to break out on his own. I literally broke my back trying to defend it. It's going to take surgery and time. Oh, look at that in the background. Look at that. Oh, that's a great shot, isn't it? Wesley sat there talking, doing his little promo, his vignette, and in the background you've got the shadow of Obafemi. A man that seems to be unconquerable. Look at the size of the shadow. blocking him out. It's blocked out the light. The only reason you're revered as the greatest is because you came before me. I am the mountain you cannot climb. Oba's still green, right? It's hard to sit here and list loads of great Oba Femi matches, loads of great Oba Femi promos. But he is someone that's also gaining experience, improving, and looks amazing. My expectation for this match is Oba retains. But I'm looking for something where we can go, oof, that was good. I'm looking for something where afterwards it's not just, yeah, that's kind of what I thought it would be. I'm looking for something where it's like, oh, that was worth the entry fee. Because in all fairness, the triple threat was good, of course. That got a lot of praise earlier this year. But one-on-one singles matches, that's not just a spot fest. It's hard to find Oba matches, so Wes could maybe bring that out in Oba. Wes, I think, could be a really good opponent here. Wesley, Oba Femi, one-on-one. Let's go. I might be in the minority, but I would prefer if Oba would talk in his regular voice, says Brony. Oh, hello, we're backstage. Hank, Tank. Is that Tyrese? And Tyriek. We've got a backstage brawl. Oh my god. Or is that Gallus? Oh, I thought it was Hank and Tank. It's Gallus boys. It's Gallus boys. I think he just got speared into a barrel. That's a bad day at work, isn't it? Getting speared into a barrel. Let's go. They still have Wendy Choo, Carly Bright, Tyrese, Tyriek, Gallus after this snooze fest show. I'm down on NXT. It's a bad show. Well, it's a shame you feel that way. I can't agree. I think that there's been enough here for me to think that this has been more than acceptable. That street fight was amazing. Izzi Brinley, I thought, was a nice little back and forth. That promo was noteworthy. And I think that there's been enough. Well, I mean, there's been a load of adverts, but in an hour and 20 odd minutes, I think there's been enough. I certainly don't think this is like an amazing episode or anything like that, but I would really struggle to say this has been bad. I'll be very interested to see what the community score it. James said, I think we might get Julia at Heatwave. I don't think the show has been bad, said Mitchell. I just think that Lola promo was cringe. That's fair. It's fair if people think the show's bad. It's not unfair if people think it's bad. I've said before, the only thing we ever want is honest opinion. If people are giving their honest opinions, it's all we ever look for. Woo! Right. NXT is good, said William. I'm just overloaded and I've got a ton on my mind. I just can't watch it. The old lady is watching the Olympic trials. William, I hope you're well, mate. I don't like to hear about you being overloaded. Get some of that load off, buds. It's not good for you. It turns out Roxanne's two security guards are Maxine and Cora's real-life boyfriends, says Max JB. Really? Well, they might need better boyfriends. That one just got knocked down by Lola, spinning back fist. The Beach said the opening match was like 7 stars at the Tokyo Dome, and the rest has been average, says The Beach. Albert said, I could give it a 7 to 8. Defcon said, while Ric Flair racked up championships, Leo Rush racks up 401k retirements. Galaxy Wolf, hope you are well. Mr. Quake said NXT is fun. These commercial breaks are long. Slytherin said, this is the first time I've ever watched NXT. Well, I would agree that I think it is a mixed bag, but you're going to get that with NXT because you're dealing with a lot of talent that's learning. So, you know, you're going to get missteps. You're going to get people at various different stages of their development. And so you're going to get good, amazing talent, and you're going to get talent that's a bit raw and a bit green. Sometimes that can result in some really good shows when you get the balance right and, you know, that green talent excels. Sometimes it can, like, you know, just not quite land. So you never quite know what you're going to get with NXT, but it's always worth a watch. These are the stars of tomorrow. Brinley is a bit down and frustrated. Oh no. So Good Brothers want OTM. This is quite a good way to do a promo, isn't it? Looking straight down the camera. Right, I don't know if we're getting the Tyriek Tyson situation. Here's Carly. Oh, I remember this girl. Saw her at the house show. Carly Brights. She taking on Wendy. Let's go, man. Bit of Wendy Choo. Spooky McGrew. Panini Immaculate Trading Cards are now available. Available at local hobby shops. Hey, whatever happened to those twins? Do you remember them twins that they were pushing really hard? Where did the twins go? Okay, here's Wendy. Oh, dead inside, it says on her mask. Dead inside. Staring forward, slowly making her way down to the ring. Tilting her head. Booker says, what happened? What happened? Cold-hearted Wendy Choo. She rolls inside the ring. Vic Joseph said, this is not the same Wendy Choo that we once knew. There's a need for Wendy. We don't really have anything spooky in NXT. Tag team match ain't happening. Wendy Choo against Carly Bright. We're underway. Defcon said, should Wyatt 6 eventually be on all brands or just one brand? I would focus them on just the one personally. I think at some point you might be able to do a bit of a story where they all kind of break apart and go onto different brands, but that for me would be like quite far into the future. I think this is a group that, you know, we're trying to explain who they are, why they got together, what their motivation is. I think by splitting them all apart and having them on different brands, you risk overexposing them. I think it might be a little bit more difficult to kind of tell their stories because, I mean, you could say, well, you could tell the story of Gacy down in NXT, but only 600,000-700,000 people watch NXT. If you watch Raw each week, you should be able to follow the story. So it would be a bit unfair for people to miss out on stuff that's happened on NXT or SmackDown. You know, you'd have to kind of recap them. So I sort of feel like keep them on the one brand, keep building them. Anyone interested in them, they know where they need to go. And that's Raw. And, you know, give the other shows to the other superstars. Like right here, we've got Wendy Choo. Really interesting what we're doing with Wendy Choo. Oh, standing on the neck, head and the neck of Carly and twisting away. Wendy is well in control. Axe kick to the back. There's a slow Wendy chant that breaks out. Forearm strike there by Wendy. Another forearm strike. Carly in the middle of the ring. Headbutt there by Wendy as Carly goes down. Wendy talking at the ref. Wrestling Overtime said, I've got high expectations for Raw SmackDown, but not NXT. I do just love watching people develop. I think that's probably a healthier way of looking at it. I think part of NXT's problem is that it used to be the best wrestling show, and it's a lot more inconsistent now, but the way we use NXT is different now. You know, back in the day, we used to go and get the best indie talent. Oh my God. She charges over. Oh, wow, what a drop kick. Is that it? Oh God, she kicks out. What is up with this girl? Wow, look at that. Boom. Carly Bright is getting flipping smashed all over the ring at the moment. She charges over, goes underneath, gets the ropes, round the houses. Oh, takes Wendy over. Clothesline, down goes Wendy. Wendy gets back up, another clothesline. Wendy gets back up. Carly's trying to dig deep here, but, I mean, she's getting a little... Oh, my God! Oh, she just cartwheeled over, and it looked a little bit... I don't know that she really protected Wendy much there. It looks like her knee went right into the head of Wendy. Working on the arm. Round the back. Oh, beautiful. Lariat. Down went Carly. Into Sleeper. Yeah, she'll put away with that. Oh, love it. Love it when she gets them down and she wraps her legs round. Wendy Choo. Staring at the camera. Knowing where the camera is. Staring at the camera. So intense. Putting Carly Bright away. Yeah, so as we said, like NXT, when it was black and gold, we went and got the best indie talent from around the world. The Finn Balor's, the Samoa Joes, the Sami Zayn's, the Kevin Steens, you know, the Hideo Itami's. We were the Shinsuke Nakamura's. I mean, I don't even know if you can call New Japan indie, but we were just pumping it full of all this well-established indie or minor promotion, smaller promotion talent. And we were just pumping it, man, just pumping it. And then, like, you know, it meant that, like, people were already of a certain standard. They already had a certain following. Whereas now we don't do that anymore. Now we have to build our own stars, like, next in line. You know, Izzy Dame, she's not come from the indies. I think she used to be in basketball or something. Volleyball, wasn't it? So she ain't got, like, a wrestling following. Like, she ain't got that experience. So now we're having to build her. But it's not just her. It's literally everyone. Next in line has really kind of took over now. Now we get athletes that look amazing. And we teach them how to wrestle. And we build them as stars. And we build their following. And we build their characters. Whereas in black and golds, we brought in, you know, all those people that were already established. I mean, Bailey had been on the indies. Sasha had been on the indies. Brought them in. Becky had been on the indies. Brought her in. Finn Balor had been in New Japan as Prince Devitt, of course. Carmen against Jasmine is next. This Sunday. Right, let's get that. What did you think about Wendy Choo taking on Carly Bright? Wendy Choo versus Carly Bright. I don't know why I read it that way, but I did. All time. Great. I feel like NXT doesn't really have enough depth. It would struggle when Femi, Trick, Roxanne, Gallus get called up, says Paul. Well, you say that, but there's always that next wave, isn't there? You know, I think, you know, I don't see Femi getting called up anytime soon. I think that he's still too green. Trick can get called up. Roxanne can get called up. Gallus, that's an interesting one. But, I mean, you know, we've just brought in Ethan Page. You've got Sean Spears around. We're building Javon Evans. You've still got Tony D'Angelo around. You know, do we break Duke Hudson away from Chase U? I mean, what the flip we doing with Duke Hudson? He's been in Chase U and it doesn't feel like he's anywhere near a title. I mean, Duke Hudson is someone that should be much, much further along than what he is. Like, it's weird that he's still in Chase U. Or if he's in Chase U, fine. But how is he not going after a world title? How are we not, you know, doing more with him? Andre Chase has been since 2.0, NXT 2.0. These people have been around. You just sort of not forget about them. But, I mean, you think about JC Jane. Been around since, like, Mandy Rose 2.0, Toxic Attraction. Gigi Dolan. And there's all these people that are around that we can get more out of them. We've just got to invest in them and get the creative going. So I think they're all right. I just think there's some talent that's stuck. I don't know why. Gigi seems stuck. You know, they came in at the exact same time as Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark's on the main roster. Gigi's not. JC's not. Duke Hudson's not. Andre Chase isn't. You know, there's people there that obviously Trick as well, but Trick's in a great place. So there is talent that's there, that's established, that can carry more weight. You just got to give them that weight, ain't you? I suppose the question would be, why haven't we given them that weight? I don't know. But there's definitely people there that can carry more of the load. You know, not too far in the future, Thea Hale's going to need to step up that next step. You know, she's not. She's going to need to be a girl that's going to be carrying a mid-card belt or regularly engaging in storylines. And, you know, people just come through, don't they? Oh, man, these commercial breaks are annoying, though. Duke Hudson was called up in 2020 for a short time, as Vink says, Wrestle Andy. Yeah, good shout. Since that didn't work and he got brought back down, though, like, I don't get what we're doing with him. He's in Chase U and they've kind of used him in tag team stuff, whatever, but I don't know. I mean, he's a big guy. He can work. He seems to have a bit of a personality. I feel like there's something there. I feel like you could do more with him. So he definitely feels like someone we should be doing more with. Carmen Live 2, shout out to you. Went to AR Dub Pro. Yes. Big Time said, I know that NXT's rebuilding, but it does feel like Sean relies on top names of 2.0 for too long whilst not building new people. We delayed this rebuild phase. Well, maybe. You could be right. I think that whenever you call up a load of people in a draft, you're always going to have a bit of a turbulent spell as people have to step up and things get rejigged, and perhaps he didn't quite get his ducks in the row, you know? Perhaps we should have been leaning a little bit more on a few other people so that when those people went... But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much he knew who he was losing when the decisions were made. I don't know. Right. Booker. Past few weeks, we've been part of a few altercations. Yeah, the Brooks Jensen stuff. Here's Shawn Michaels. Okay. Here's Shawn. There's been many disturbances by Brooks Jensen. This is interesting. So we're actually hearing from Shawn. If you follow Brooks on social media, he has been very outspoken. I've seen reports that he's been released from his contract, but that is not the case. He was asked by NXT management to take a sabbatical. And then we've seen all these invasions. Yeah, he's been jumping into live events as well. I didn't know he'd been interrupting live events as well. That's cool. The easiest thing to do would be to let him go. But I believe in second chances, said Sean. Listen, Brooks just lost his smile. So he wants to invite Brooks to have a sit-down discussion with Ava. Interesting. Okay. Well, there we go. That'll be a good segment. Here's Carmen. Carmen Petrovic. Boom. Boom. Carmen Petrovic making her way down. She is going to be in action against Jasmine Nix. I like Jasmine. She was good at the house show I went to. Don't know how I feel about Carmen. We've seen a few girls like Xia Li come down with weapons doing all this kind of show-off stuff. It never does it for me. Carmen and Jasmine. Jasmine in the middle of the ring, going for a leg sweep, but they both get out of each other's way. But first time I've watched NXT tonight, said Slither. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, but Carmen Live 2 said, I didn't attend the Backbreaker wrestling event at the Youth Baseball Complex. You didn't? Oh, it was so good, mate. It was really good. It was good. A lot of people are asking where you were, actually. I'll try and let them know. Are you going to be there next time? I'll let them know if you are. Johnny said, if anyone here in the chat is from Utah, please come to Devotion Championship Wrestling. We've got wonderful shows this weekend. The first bar fight, you've got to be 21 for that show. Oh my God, I love how we've turned into an indie wrestling hotbed. Guys, if you're going to be in the Starbridge area, then please go to Bridge Wrestling. I've never been. They've only had a couple of shows, and I'm not sure if they're any good. But you've got to support your local wrestling. They're not actually local to me anymore, but oh my God, I would have loved to have gone if they were around when I was a kid. Millie McKenzie wrestles there. She's on their roster. She's on a lot of people's rosters, actually. JC Jane getting involved and causing a distraction, but Carmen Petrovic goes over into the corner. Up. No. Oh, kick to the midsection. Take that. Take that. Maybe drugs or alcohol, says Al. NXT is not the WMAC, World of Martial Arts Council. Looking for a net breaker. Boom! Lovely by Jasmine. Mr. Rage Bomb said, I want to start wrestling. Do it. Do it, mate. We could really do with a wrestler in this community, actually. Someone that we can all get behind. Is that Fallon? Fallon is backstage watching the action. I think as soon as she saw herself, she started applauding. There I am. Right. Jasmine in control at the moment, but Carmen. Oh, lovely little pin there by Carmen. That looked like it might have been a 3, actually, you know. I don't think Jasmine could quite get out of that. Referee counted 1, 2, and then I don't think he could see the shoulders, but they still look down. Carmen back, charging over. Down goes Jasmine. Another shot Jasmine keeps getting up. She keeps getting knocked back down again. Bridge Wrestling, what a promotion. That is simply sensational talent. Bridge, go on, Bridge. Go on, Bridge Wrestling. Oh, leg sweep there. Wrestlandy said, Daze, who would you bring back that was released by NXT? Maybe Haaland could get another chance. Who would you bring back that was released by NXT? Oh my god, I love that Pele kick. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, I love that from Jasmine. God damn, I love that. It's such a good move. That is good. That is good. Who would I... It's such a good question. Who would you bring back? Don't know. I really don't know. The names in my head are Samoa Joe, because he, I think, was released when he was in NXT. So I'd be tempted to bring Samoa Joe back. Dijak, because he just got released and he never really did anything on the main roster. So technically, is he NXT still? I'd definitely be interested in bringing Dijak back. Then I was thinking Billie Kay, but I was like, well, she was kind of released on the main roster, so I don't think she counts. But I did love Billie Kay. I did love Billie Kay. And then I was thinking, like, some of the old guard. Your Bull Dempseys. I wouldn't bring Bull Dempsey back. I don't know. I don't know that I've got an answer that's like, oh yeah, them. I don't think I'd bring Harlem back because I heard... I mean, it's not a great sign he went to AEW and it didn't work, is it? Something's not right there. Something's not right. Samoa Joe definitely needs to come back, said Kian. It's not too late. Dijak got fired for being a mark, said Spencer. Well, I don't actually know why he got let go. Apparently, word on the street is it was a Nick Khan decision. Triple H didn't want to do it. Is that... I don't know why he got released. There was a rumor that it was to do with him feeding info to Sean Ross Sapp, but that was all rubbish. Even I saw even a couple of people that had said that apologize. So to my knowledge, that was a load of rubbish. Alistair Black, that's a good one, K-pop lover. That's a good one. Keith Lee, said Alex Bliss Gamer, that's good. Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze is a great one, because I did love him, but how old is he now? Is he still young? He is 36, yeah? Yeah? Tyler Breeze? Tyler Breeze. I think I would take Tyler Breeze as the one at the moment. I do like the Alistair Black shout. Keith Lee's cool. How old's Keith Lee? Let's look at Keith Lee. Keith Lee. Oh, there's another Keith Lee. I don't want that Keith Lee. Keith Lee, 39. How old's Alistair Black? Alistair Black. 39. How old's Tyler Breeze? 36. 36. I think on age, I'm going Tyler Breeze. I did love Prince Pretty. I like Breezango as well, actually. How old's Billie Kay? Billie Kay. 35. Why did we let her go? Why did we let her go? How old's Samoa Joe? Guys, he's 45. He's basically dead. We can't have Samoa Joe. Dijak sucks no tail. Dijak sucks no tail. No talent. Oh, what? You don't like Dijak? Velveteen Dream. Moose, said Mr. Quake. Keith Lee, the food reviewer. Bring him in. We need to bring him in. I think I would get Poppy. Do you remember her, the singer? Or Sexy Red. I'd bring Sexy Red back. Tyler Breeze is possible considering he appears on Up, Up, Down, Down regular, said AKF. Mandy Rose, said Art King. I wouldn't bring Mandy Rose back. I think there was a very clear stipulation. That is, go down this road where you're going to do your OnlyFans stuff, right? Or don't do that and you can stay with us. And they put that to her and she decided to go for the money and to do the OnlyFans. So I sort of feel like, okay, well, decision made. Hello. Carmen. Natty. So it's going to be Ariana Grace and Carmen are going to have a tag match on the Countdown show. JC and Jasmine versus Ariana and Carmen. That's going to be interesting to see. Can they coexist? Can they coexist? Okay, we got Sol Ruka. Stephanie hates Mandy, said Mr. Quake. Ariana Grace. Oh. Yeah, I think the Mandy one's really interesting. I mean, I feel for her because when she got released, I said, I hope they gave her that stipulation, like, with enough warning. I hope, like, they didn't just go, oh, goodbye. I hope it was like, look, if you're going to keep going down this road, we're going to have to part ways. There's a line, you know? Actually showing your boobs is the line. And I think she ended up kind of going and choosing that life instead, so... if I've got to bring someone back, it wouldn't be Mandy Rose. Like LeBron James says, you can't be afraid to fail. It's the only way you succeed. So we got a video package for Sol Ruka. I'm bringing the heat to Toronto. Him being released because of feeding dirt sheets isn't far off. He's always interacted with Sap on Twitter. I wouldn't be surprised if WWE thought he was a PR nightmare. I would be surprised. Just because he was active on social media, I mean, that seems bonkers to me. Like, him talking to people on social media and that being a negative. I don't get that. You know, you're building your brand, you're interacting with fans, you're, you know, part of that world is Sean and, you know, other people online. Like, there's no evidence that he actually did feed. I mean, look, if he was feeding information to Sean and they knew that, that's different. But, I don't know, just pointing to the fact that he was talking online with Sean and that's a reason for him to lose his job. What? 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 I don't know. I don't know what the reason was. I think people speculated it was that, but they had nothing. They had no evidence of it. I think it's one of those where people were so perplexed by it, so confused by it, they were kind of scrambling around for a reason. Right, the contract signing now. Contract signing for Heatwave. We've already got Javon. Oh, man, we're going to get the music now. Let's go. Let's go. Please welcome your NXT champion. Yeah. Let's go. What that chick? 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 Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That chick. What that Magic. Let's go, man. This music. This guy. What a star. What a star. I wish there was more killer feuds for him. I wish there was a Finn Balor for him to go up against, you know? It's quite crowded, isn't it? There's a heat wave coming to Toronto. Okay, here's Ethan. I love you. I do. I love this about you. Loud boos for Ethan. You fight for these people. You fight with your emotions. If I'm being honest, you're probably the hottest thing in WWE right now. Chick's like, all right, let's talk about it. You remember that match I would have won, but you didn't. Quit wasting everyone's time. Okay, so we got Ethan just talking to Trick at the moment. We got Javon over the other side with Sean Spears. This Sunday is not the same thing as Vegas. I don't have to beat you to win that. I could beat you. I just don't have to. The odds in this match, they're not in your favor. Oh, man. We need a quick poll. Is the table getting demolished? Okay. I'll just say table. Is the table getting demolished, yes or no? Or do you reckon they're all just going to walk away? That'd be nice, wouldn't it, if they all just get up and walk away? Trick really got a resume. I'm going to add one more win to it this Sunday. Sean Spears says, oh, you love the sound of your own voice. Loud boos. Johnny said, I had my first match a few weeks ago at Devotion Championship Wrestling. I'm not a professional wrestler, but I got to be in a match. How many fans can say they were in a match? Not many, buds. Not many. That emotion of yours is going to bring me that championship. At Heatwave in Toronto, Canada. So Sean Spears is very confident. Where's the young OG? Come on. Young OG. Young OG. Young OG. Young OG. Little 20-year-old kids. I'll start this off. So he signs the contract. We want Dijak sign in the background. Okay, so Sean signs the contract. I thought the young OG was going to come in and throw some shots. You haven't got a shot in hell at winning the big one. Go on, young OG. Everyone wants to use my age against me. He's a little nervous. But is the young OG excited? Everyone's going to know that boy's bouncy. He projects very well. Ooh, good line. We're going to talk about experience. So he asks Sean about, like, how many times he's been champ. Yeah, there we go. Sean getting up. That was all right. What? He's 20 years old. What a talent. Me and Sean have both beaten Javon, but can you, Trick? I don't like your odds. I gotta be honest, champ. I don't like your odds. Well, I don't like you. Yeah, Trick's putting over Javon now. Bouncy. He is bouncy. Can do a lot of things. But one thing you can't do is take this title from me. Days, this Saturday I might go to Berwyn Eagles Club. Do it. Do it. They'd love to see you down there, mate. This has descended into, I'm going to be the NXT champion. No, I'm going to be the NXT champ. Actually, I'm going to be the NXT champ. Oh. Sunday. I'm coming for that title. Oh. Javon said there's nothing you or these two bums can do about it. And now it's broken down into a big brawl, but the table is okay at the moment. Oh, the table breaks! Oh, both tables break! 91% of people were right. The tables broke. Oh my God, that is amazing. What a way to end this segment. Oh, Javon went to reach out for the title, but Trick grabs it. Oh, a few words being exchanged here, you know. Sean down, Ethan down, Javon and Trick standing over him. Well, there we go. End of the show, and that was, you know, for me, that was a go-home segment. I mean, it's just, it's a bit cluttered. I'd much rather it be one-on-one, because I kind of feel where you've got four people, everyone gets to say a couple of lines, and then you're onto a different person butting in. So, you know, if we were building to, like, you know, a one-on-one match, I would prefer that. But I do like having the young OG in the match. I'm a big fan of him. So this is going to be a great way of getting him in there. It's also a great way of getting into big heels with Sean and Ethan, you know, keeping them in the mix. Who wins, though, and where we go from here, I think is very difficult. I don't think Javon wins it, of course, but I don't know. Are we doing it this way because it's a way of getting the title off Trick? Or are we doing it this way so that Trick overcomes the numbers? Don't know. It's a real tricky one. It's a real tricky one. I don't know. I feel confident Javon ain't winning. But this could be how we get the belt on Ethan. Or this could be how we get it on Sean. Or it could be that Trick overcomes everyone and stays champion. Like, that's absolutely possible. So, food for thought. Big Time said, only 5 out of 10 for me. It was a good open and closing segment. AKF said, I'm going to give it 7. I get the notion that Trick might drop the belt, said TBH, and make his main roster debut. Do you think so? Jesus. Think he's coming up already? You think they've seen enough? Do you remember when they used to have Money in the Bank participants on top of the ladder? I'm glad those days are over. I'm glad those days are over as well, buds. Big Time said, I could see Trick having a 200-plus day title reign. Johnny said, I've got a question. Can we see you eat a lemon live on stream? I don't know if I've already done that before. When we used to do Wheel of Fun back in the day. I think there was maybe a chance that we did that. I can't remember. No way Trick gets called up, said Big Time. Mitchell, good night, my friends. 6 out of 10. M Pound Cake said, I'm going to give it an 8. Well, if you go over to the second channel, not now, but in a sec, you can actually go over and you can leave your score. I'm going to put that up now. So on the second channel, you can leave your score. Right, I'm going to wrap this up so that we can go away and do a video. But yeah, tomorrow I'll have Money in the Bank predictions on the second channel. We'll have a member stream on this channel, and we will also do a video. On the second channel, we've got NXT Heatwave predictions coming up. I'll ask you for your thoughts on Money in the Bank, who's going to win, how it's going to play out. Obviously, we'll have SmackDown opinions coming up as well. There's loads of stuff happening over the next few days on this channel and on the second channel. So big thank you to everyone that joined us, shared their thoughts, and I will see you again next time.